This is a message to my brothers and sisters, my Jewish brothers and sisters, wherever you may find yourselves throughout this world. I just listened to a very moving clip. And I'll tell you why it was very moving. It was moving because it is moving. Because a man is moved as he shares these words. And there's nothing more moving than a person who is moved. When a message really touches our soul, when it resonates so deeply with us that we can speak from our heart, not just from our mind, which is exactly what this clip offers us. And I hope that you will gain the inspiration that I have gained from it. Watch this clip. Tell me you're not moved by it, but just make sure that you do something with it.
The chaotic future. The unpredictable, chaotic future, all that infinite potential there. That's where the infinite and the finite meet, right on the horizon of the future. And to chart our course forward, guided by the better story. And as Jews in Israel, are you telling the greatest story ever told? Well, you decide that by how you live. And that decision will affect the world, because everyone looks here for one reason or another. It's not so easy to understand. Everyone looks here to see, well, how are you actually doing under this tremendous assault of adversarial criticism, as this little tiny people in the middle of no man's land, in some real sense, as a, what would you say, cardinal model of the nation state and the city on the hill. You have a tremendous moral responsibility, like you have perhaps for your entire history, for reasons that are very difficult to understand. And I think it is true in some real sense that the fate of the world depends on the decisions of the people of Israel, just as the fate of the world depends just as the fate of the world depends on the decision of every individual. So you make yourself a shining light on the hill, right? You attract people here because of what you're capable of doing. You show the world what the holy city could look like, because we need it. We need it, and it's up to you to do it. Thank you very much.
Amongst the things that he says, and he's not Jewish, he says, are you telling the greatest story ever told? The fact of the matter is, history says this of us if we are not willing to say it of ourselves. We, the Jewish people, are telling the greatest story ever told, but we have to make it even greater, and we do make it even greater when we live into being a Jew. That's how we make it the greatest story ever told. That's how we have in the past. That's how we will continue to in the future. And the question is only whether I'm playing a significant role in that. Every single individual, which we all can. And he says, you decide, right? Are you telling the greatest story ever told? You decide that by how you live. We decide it by the choices that we make and how we live. And here's the reality. We have to ask ourselves, are we living as a Jew in this world? And yes, that is going to demand of us to ask many questions. Well, what does that even mean? What does it mean to live as a Jew in this world? What does a Jew mean? What does Jew and God mean, and how do we relate to each other? Ask those questions. It begins by beginning to search. And I'm going to tell you something, that when we are willing to live our lives as a Jew, more and more and more, that's going to require us to live our lives less and less and less as we have been. We are going to have to let go of the life that we had to some extent and embrace a higher way of living, a more meaningful way of living, a way of great purpose, a way that actually tells a much greater story.